I'm Father Stephen Riley. I've been recording a series of videos to guide us through Holy Week, and the one for Holy Saturday is a little bit of a strange one to think about. Nothing really happens on Holy Saturday within the Gospels. But I'm going to take inspiration from the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius, which say to us that we should try and contemplate the sorrowful waiting of Mary. Ignatius also touchingly speaks about how Jesus naturally would go to Mary first after he rose from the dead to share the joy of the resurrection with her. So even though this is not scriptural and I suppose it's a little bit apocryphal, nonetheless it could set the scene for us today for our celebration of Holy Saturday. As always with a guided meditation, I'd like you to sit with your feet on the floor and with your back straight up against the back of the chair, with your hands on your knees or in your lap. If you can close your eyes now and keep your eyes until I ask you to open them again at the end of the meditation. Listen to the music in the background. Just enjoy it and allow it to wash over you. I'd like you to become aware of your breathing. And as you're breathing in, breathe in the breath of God, the Holy Spirit, who wishes to fill you, fill your lungs and your heart. And as you breathe out, breathe in anything, out anything which is not of God, anything of darkness or frustration, tiredness or worry. So breathing in the freshness of the Holy Spirit and breathing out anything which stands in God's way. I'd like you to imagine that you are walking down the streets of the small town of Bethany, just to the east of Jerusalem, at the time of Jesus. You feel the dust under your feet as you make your way through the village. As you look up to the sky, it's blue, with just some white clouds. It's quite a hot day today. And this is a day like no other. This is the day after the crucifixion and death of Jesus. You've witnessed that day and you've helped to put him into the tomb to his final rest. How do you feel as you walk down the street and reflect back on the events of the previous days? Do you feel sadness, anger, weariness, or perhaps an inner calm, hopefulness in the promises that Jesus made while he was with you? How do you reflect upon your own part in those days? Are you happy to have accompanied Jesus, or disturbed by what you saw? You come to the door of the house that you are going to visit today. You gently knock on the door, and the door is opened to you by a familiar face. It's the face of John, the beloved disciple. He smiles. He looks so happy to see you. He says your name and says, "Welcome to my house." You step in out of the heat into a cool, small house. And as your eyes get used to the light of the house after the glare of the sun, you start to make out some figures. There's the figure of Mary, the mother of Jesus. This is her house now, since John has welcomed her into his household, as Jesus asked. She draws close to you and gives you a hug and says, "Thank you for coming." You haven't come empty-handed. You wanted to bring a small token, a token of friendship and of sympathy, as you might to the house of anyone who has died. What have you brought that you hand over to Mary? Perhaps some food for the other guests who'll be coming and visiting on this day. Or maybe some simple flowers. Or maybe something you've made. Mary looks so happy to receive this token of your love. As you look around, there are more familiar faces, the friends of Jesus, Lazarus, Martha, and Mary, who also live in the village. You go over and sympathise with them, and them with you. And together you sit. John brings you a cooling glass of water, which you're so happy to receive on this hot day to revive you. You feel its coolness passing your lips. Just another sign of graciousness and welcome. And as you would with anyone who has died, you sit around as friends, talking about Jesus and your memories of him. What do you want to say about him? What does he mean to you? How would you sum up his life and his effect in you? What do the others say about him? Do they too express a word of gratitude for all that Jesus has been for them? Maybe Mary talks about his childhood. John about tramping the fields with Jesus and listening to him preach. Martha, Mary and Lazarus about the many times he visited their house. And as you would for anyone who has died, your discussion turns to prayer. And together you pray the prayers of your ancestors, the prayers of Jesus. And you pray the psalm that he began to pray on the cross. You know it by heart and say it together. All who worship the Lord now praise him. The Lord doesn't hate or despise the helpless in all their troubles. When I cried out, he listened and did not turn away. When your people meet, you will fill my heart with your praises, Lord, and everyone will see me keep my promises to you. The poor will eat and be full, and all who worship you will be thankful and live in hope. Everyone on this earth will remember you, Lord. People all over the world will turn and worship you because you are in control, the ruler of all nations. In the future, everyone will worship and learn about you, O Lord. People not yet born will be told, the Lord has saved us. After you pray together, you settle down into companionable silence. Although there is mourning, among these friends and these disciples there is a sense of hope that's palpable. Mary, his mother, several times has said, "I'm sure we will see him again. Hasn't he told us so?" And your heart begins to revive. It's time to say farewell to your friends now. You stand up and in turn embrace each of these friends and fellow disciples. They thank you for your visit and your presence, your memories and your prayers. And John opens the door as you step out over the threshold. You turn and wave and make your way out into the street again. You feel the sunlight in your face. As you make your way out of the village, you see the spring flowers blooming once again. And your heart is filled with hope as you wait for Jesus to fulfill his promises. And in your own time, you can become aware that you're in your surroundings once again, at home or elsewhere. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes again. I hope you've enjoyed this meditation inspired by St. Ignatius of Loyola and the events of Holy Saturday, and I'll see you soon.